I've got stories here that are so sad, I can't continue. Here's one you've heard of. Cleveland Cavaliers owner Dan Gilbert has suffered from a stroke. All right, that's sad. Thankfully, he's still alive. All right, and all this. How about this? This is, though, of these fatalities, and now wait a minute here. Basketball coach, he's an assistant, Howard Moore. This weekend, he awoke from a coma. Well, that doesn't sound so bad. He suffered it in a car crash that killed his wife and daughter. How would you like, to wake up from a coma? Oh, we're happy we could save your life. You have no more family. That's pretty depressing. As I said, it has been said that his son Jarrell is been released from the hospital. He's taking care of the family. You know what? Gonna be hard not to root in the future for Howard Moore. Boy, do you wish him the best and want to pray for his good. Man, waking up from a coma, car wreck. Oh, while you were in your coma, your wife and daughter died. I don't know. All right, so you've got that. What else can I depress? Game throws a couple of picks in 2007. So what? This is really just, Santa Anita. Our favorite track, the track of death. 26 horses now have passed death since last winter. So 9-year-old gelding named Cochise was euthanized a day earlier. Third horse death in 9 days at Santa Anita, and the 26th overall since the season began the day after Christmas. Folks, shut down the track. I don't know what else. Shut down the... I don't know. Is the idea they don't want to shut down the track because then you got all these stables and what do we do with these horses? And then we might have to slaughter them? But you've got to do something. And frankly, I would hope that, horse racing officials would say, you're not going to slaughter the horses. What has occurred? So that 26 horse deaths, on top of Herman Moore loses half his family, his wife and daughter. We mentioned Bart Starr, we mentioned Bill Buckner, the Auburn announcer. A stroke by Dan Gilbert, the Cavaliers owner. What's this? You remember yesterday, I was talking about Bart Starr, and I said Super Bowl II had a very big ETSU influence in it. Bart Starr quarterbacked the Packers to a 33-14 victory against the Oakland Raiders, Super Bowl II. The head referee of the game was Jack Vest, of Jack Vest Drive fame, probably his coach. And McMurray was coaching both football and basketball before he went to Ole Miss, who themselves have gotten a new athletic director. More on that in just a sec. But on top of all of this, you have now... I want to tell you this story. I mentioned Jack Vest. I mentioned John Rock. There's an interesting ET. And then there's an assistant coach out there that was on that staff who also went to ETSU. He was a kicking coach. And for the life of me, I can't remember his name. And I tried looking it up on a world's slowest computer. I couldn't find it. And finally, I found it. Took me a long time, actually. And remember I said I thought his name was Bud? It was actually Bugsy Engelberg. Okay, why is that sad? That sounds like a pretty good thing, He was only 24 years old when he was an assistant coach of the Oakland Raiders. You want to talk about thinking out of the curve, special teams coach, kicking coach, and all this. And then Bugsy Engelberg went on, actually to the USFL. Now, that was about a decade and a half later. But he became the general manager of the Orlando Renegades. Yeah, an ETSU product. Now, the Orlando Renegades are the old Washington Federals, who are this horrible, horrible pro football. These took a bath with all the people betting and winning against the Washington Federals. Federals were actually, I remember this well, first year of the USFL, 1-13. They won 3 out of the last 4. The only team they lost to were games of the year. And they did. Of course, they also played the Philadelphia Stars, who played the Michigan Panthers for the USFL title that first year. And the Stars basically, I think, had things clinched, and they just sort of took the game off. You know, it made it a little bit easier for the Federals to win, but that made the Federals their first year 4-14. Yes, boys and girls, they played 18 games in the USFL. They can do it in the NFL, too. Want to get rid of the preseason, go to an 18-game schedule. All right, so we got that. Number 2, the next year, the Federals, the other 3-15 team that year, the Pittsburgh Maulers. So this is a horrible team. They won 7 games in 2 years out of 36. They're 7-31, and primarily at that point, they moved to Orlando. And, yeah, the former ETS coach of the Raiders becomes their general manager. This sounds really neat. He hires Lee Corso to be his head coach. Yeah, you know, College Game Day. They wanted to get Howard Schnellenberger. That fell through. It actually cost Schnellenberger his job in Miami, coaching the Hurricanes, blah, blah, blah. But Lee Corso. USFL, $3 in a cloud of dust. Lawsuit fails. It closes up shop. And at the age of 41, Bugsy Engelberg, the ETSU product, commits suicide, running his car in his garage. It was an 85 Diplomat. That strikes me because it touched me really, but not only the ETSU connection, not only because I know John Rock very well, but because I used to drive an 85 Diplomat. Thank goodness I did not have a garage. Anyway, but no, the Engelberg's name yesterday, Bugsy Engelberg, is the ETSU connection and all that. I mean, this is just absolutely, my good, the most depressing thing since Jackson Browne wrote this.
I'm gonna rid myself a house in the shade of the freeway.
1420 WEMB Sports Radio.
Gonna pack my and go to work each day.
This is going to get you down.